I know that as of last Monday, OSB was at like $21.95 a sheet.
That's insane.
But so for this customer, I had to get back to them and say by the middle of the week, I don't have a number for you. And right now, the mills are giving us a no bid situation. Well, what does that mean? What that means is right now, the only thing we can hold out hope for, and I told him, so prepare yourself and know what your max bid is, if you want to call it that, right? Everybody knows what's your budget, what are you comfortable to do, what you're not. And I said, this isn't no suede shoe salesman move on Marvic's part. I said, this isn't like, oh, I got 3 people interested in this car. Do you want to give me your deposit first?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the way it's going down is there's a bullpen of lumber sales guys, inside sales guys / outside sales guys, and their purchasing agent's going to walk out of his office and say, just secured a rail car of 1/2-inch fir plywood. It's so many, thousands a sheet. This is the number. Sell it.
Oh, yeah.
And literally, the phone call comes to my guy in purchasing, and he has to make a 10-minute decision, or preferably before he hangs up, say yes or no.
Yeah.
So this traditional, like, hey, Rich, it's Ryan. Can you get me a price on a direct truck? Yeah, sure, no problem. Hey, Ryan, price per sheet on a direct truck's $31.50 a sheet. There's 1,188 sheets. Get that to me. And then you stew over it for a couple days. Dude, that stuff is sold 5 minutes after the price quote. So my brother-in-law, he works for Marnie Custom Homes down in Bethany Beach. They do just $1 million tricked out houses in and around Bethany.
Yeah.
He was on the phone with, I think, the COO of 84 Lumber 2 weeks ago. And he called me after he got off the phone with them. He called me. He goes, listen, I need to find out. Do I call bullshit on this or what? An entire framing lumber package that 84 Lumber quoted him on Tuesday. On Wednesday, went up over $6,000.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Now,
How do you
understand? Like, it's a large nut of product with a substantial price tag because they're building $1 million, $2 million house, right? But still,
In a week.
one day.
Oh,
One day. Tuesday it was one price. On Wednesday they called back and said your price is now.
Yeah.
It was like over 6,000, but not.
But
7,000.
he didn't put a PO on it though. He didn't pay for it.
because they weren't ready to.
Right.
They weren't ready to. They were still finalizing, going over with the
I just lost
architect.
6,000 in one
Going
day.
over, and like, I can't fathom. How do you commit to build something in these times with those kinds
You
of
just have to
areas?
leave it open-ended on the contract.
Yeah.
With price
Like a time,
Something
like a variation of time and material.
Absolutely.
And that level of clientele rolls with the punches, but I know I couldn't. If you came back to me and if, cost is $6,000 more and you're like,
That's huge.
yeah, it's, like $24,000 more marked up or even 20,000, whatever you mark it out to.
Everything's there.
It's just,
I mean, even on our scale, like when you guys come to us and say, it's going to be a 10 to 12 increase in accessory prices, it's going to be a 4 to 6 or 8.
I've been sending you them, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
like,
want them, by the way.
right. You're like, I do not accept this.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
How many
As
emails
tough
did
as
I
it-
send you back
yeah.
trying to put the middle finger in?
Yeah.
We don't accept. We don't see it. Never got it.
Yeah. I refuse to accept the delivery of this message.
Yeah.
But like for me, like in the past, it's always been, I put that information out, and then for a lot of you, like in the past, you had said, oh man, I used to get those things for base, and
I'd throw them out. 'cause they were a
whatever.
joke. They were a joke.
Like, hey, it's junk mail.
Yeah, it's
I'm calling bullshit on it. Now we're like, I live and die by it because my thing is, and I always have been to an extent, I always think of myself as you.
Right.
I'm always trying to put myself in your position.
Yeah, because if we're losing money, you're losing money, you're all losing money.
Right.
But a lot of-
I don't want anybody to lose in the
Sure.
game. And as soon as I know of like a deficiency, I'm always trying to react
Yeah,
to it
yep.
and say, hey, heads up, you want to be proactive, raise your price by this much at least.
Yeah,
You know, make sure in your contract you're putting, you know, little clauses about plywood up and down.
that's craziness, man.
Hey, reminder, you're selling cedar impressions, make sure you're doing some level of a core sample or put the disclaimer about your substrate has to be
Mhm.
solid.
Mhm.
You know, because reskinning a whole
Oh,
house with
forget it.
OSB, if we even had OSB,
Yeah.
it can make or break you.
Absolutely.
You know.
I mean, look.
And for a smaller outfit, not
Mhm.
only make or break you, it could make or break a company.
Listen, we 3%, a 3% increase margin now. We talk maybe 5.5%. 5.5% is a shit ton of money. I don't care
Mhm.
who you are.
I think a lot of us contractors don't know how to deal with that. Like they're like 35%, whatever. They use par numbers to,
Yeah, well,
to
that's-
measure and
It's
sell.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So they could be really losing.
Mm-hmm.
They could be really fucking over the homeowner, or they might be in the middle somewhere. But I think a lot of it tends towards so most contractors don't really know the true number,
Right.
and so I don't know how they're selling or have
Well-
contracts with their sales guys
Yeah,
or
they're
whatever.
not-
But
they're
I think a
not
lot of
good.
sales guys are going to end up getting pissed off because they're going to find out that they're getting screwed on their commissions because the companies that run
That's what's gonna
them
happen.
don't know their number.
They don't know the
yet.
number.